everybody.
Hi.
Welcome back to another exclusive, never before filmed air raid shelter. Very lucky. Really, really lucky. Again, really different design. It's familiar to some, but different in lots of other ways. So, we are
Northeast of London.
northeast of London.
Outside of London.
Yeah, without revealing exactly. Please don't ask. Come on. It's mainly like I said before because, you know, these are people's houses and, you know, it's about respect and making sure that, you know, when we get these opportunities, we've got to show as much respect as possible. So what we're going to do now is just talk you through it straight away. So we know that the house dated to 1929. And it's a bizarre one, this, because we're not too far away from an airfield as well, but it's not military related. We know that in this one. It is a genuine, another private air raid shelter. So let's just sort of describe the sort of construction of it. So it's a combination of brick and concrete, and which is again pretty much standard. And bizarrely enough, I think it's a sort of semi-impractical design in a way for the steps, because you've kind of got like a short level of steps that then that take a left-hand turn coming down again, and you think, why didn't you just
go straight down?
Have a dog leg? It didn't mean anything. But I think the reason for that is because there is an alcove.
Yeah.
And that normally indicates that there would have been a potential toilet in there. In fact, actually, looking at that, it looks like it would have fit quite perfectly to have a little chemical toilet there, just in case. And we normally, almost every time, the chemical toilet would have been placed near the entrance.
Yeah.
We also can see that there's a vent, that we can see that there's a vent, but also from the top there is also another vent that we also saw as well, which seems to have been blocked up potentially.
Oh, I think it goes down here.
Unless it does, yeah.
Because
so
on
Sophie,
the other side is the same pipe work.
yeah.
But this one doesn't have it.
So there's some pipe work on the floor, and within that you can sort of see that. So basically, I think it's an unusual ventilation system. Ventilation system. We use that loosely because it's just it's kind of hard to tell as well from the top, but the vent leading from the top of the roof to the top is actually in really good condition, and it's actually looks like the sort of like typical sort of funneled construction that you'd normally see. I mean, it's really well built, this. Ignore all the tables and all the sort of paraphernalia that over the years people have put in here, for example.
This is a little workshop, it looks like.
But this could easily fit very comfortably.
Oh, a big family.
A large family. You can. There's telltale signs in the corners of bits of wood and everything else that's sort of plastered into the wall itself, which would indicate that at some point there might have been benches or not benches, beds. Or something similar to that. There's also a sort of rack here as well, but we're not sure whether that dates, so it's very hard to tell. It looks like it could have done, but very hard to tell. But like I said, would have fitted comfortably a large family. And I think that that's really interesting. The roof is in fantastic condition. I mean, not that most roofs aren't in these shelters, but this one's actually really nicely built. It's actually just, again, it goes back to the thing, it's just a really well built shelter.
Yep.
You know, I think the only downside for us today is that we're getting eaten alive by some flies.
You are.
I'm like, yeah, I am, unfortunately. But yeah, amazing, really. So I think what we need to do now is just say a massive thanks to the owners.
Yes.
For allowing us to do this. Hopefully you've seen a really good size of this, etc., etc. And you saw at the beginning. Obviously, you saw the outside anyway. So really, it's just this beautiful construction, like I said, that you can sort of see from the inside. Anything else you wanted to sort of say about it, Sophie?
No, so it's an unusual. Well, it's like everyone's different. It is an unusual decision for the stairwell way in. But I guess if they wanted an alcove for a toilet, fine. But it is an unusual.
Absolutely.
But then also to have this pipe work on the floor, which potentially could be a vent, also unusual because you think it would be a drain away.
Yeah, yeah.
So if it did get cold or condensated, damp, you would want.
It is very dry in here.
It is very dry.
Okay, and we you know, obviously, we appreciate that at the time of recording this, you know, we've had a nice dry spell. but it is actually very very dry in here anyway.
Good Nick, yeah.
You know, there's no moisture or anything else like that really.
But it's just unusual that you would have a drainage of sort, well, you should do.
Absolutely.
You would think so. So it's unusual that I think one of them maybe vents upwards.
Yeah, no condensation either, really. And again, you'd normally sort of see that, especially we've come here early, so it's perfect time to sort of witness early morning condensation. It's like I said, it's actually really clean in here. Like I said, I know people will sort of saying on a minute, but there's all these tables and all that. Like, actually, yeah, if you remove that, we've had a proper look. If you remove that and it was just a shell, you'd be like, actually, yeah,
pretty large.
You know,
pretty good.
Yeah.
And to be fair, turn it into a wine cellar, turn it into a
grow mushrooms.
Grow mushrooms.
Yeah.
Turn it into a workshop.
Yeah.
Fine.
As per usual, you know, it's in a strange way. You know, it's nice that the owners have left it like this and they've not demolished it.
No.
And we're very fortunate enough to talk to Claire about Claire, the owner, who sort of said, you know, she didn't ever feel like she wanted to demolish it.
No, exactly.
And actually has benefit to us because it means that we get to document another air raid show, a private one. And as we've said before, no two are ever the same.
No.
You know, there might be elements that are similar, but there's lots of this that isn't. And I think, like we said before, so we can only assume, like we've always spoken about before, so depending on how new you are, but you know, it's about resources, it's about who you know, and it's about money. And they're the three main contributing factors as to potentially how this and why this would have been built. But because it's a private shelter, it's not being listed. And so fundamentally, you know, there's always going to be an element of mystery to this in terms of the family's thought process, which is understandable, you know, during World War II. But apart from that, yeah, remarkable, really. What a great opportunity to come down here and check this out. Well, look, in the immortal words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with us. Thank you, Claire, for allowing us this incredible opportunity. And yeah, take care. You ready?
Yeah.
Kapow. There you go.